Hey guys, it's Saga from TechWorks, and here is my detailed camera review of the iPhone 12 mini. Now this phone has the exact same cameras as the iPhone 12, but I did not use any of the 1200 plus image and video samples that I took with the iPhone 12. Since I've had this iPhone 12 mini, I took a whole new bunch of images with it and selected over 90 of those to feature in this video. If you want to check out more image and video samples from these cameras, check out my detailed camera review of the iPhone 12. I have shared over 100 image and video samples in that video, and those are different than the ones that I am about to show you guys in this video. Before we get to those image and video samples, let us check out the cameras that we are working with. If you don't think this information is useful to you, you can skip ahead to the image and video samples from the chapters on the timeline of this video. From the outside, cameras on the iPhone 12 mini seem unchanged from the iPhone 11. We get a familiar looking dual camera setup at the back. Both the cameras again have 12 megapixel sensors, but this time, main camera gets a 26mm lens and f1.6 aperture, and the ultra wide camera gets a 13mm lens and f2.4 aperture, which is basically same as the one on the iPhone 11. Both these cameras combined give us a 2x optical zoom out. These are the same two cameras that the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro comes with. Pros also get an extra camera which is not present on this phone. You can shoot 4K videos in 24, 30 and 60 fps with both the cameras, with extended dynamic range for videos up to 60 fps. You can also shoot Dolby Vision HDR videos at up to 4K 30 fps. And just like before, you can also shoot 1080p videos in 30 or 60 fps and 1080p slow motion videos in 120 or 240 fps. At the front, iPhone 12 mini comes with the same 12 megapixel true depth camera with f2.2 aperture as we saw on the iPhone 11 series phones. With these specifications out of the way, let us now move on to the image and video samples from this iPhone 12 mini. Like always, let us start with the images that I took in bright daytime. Unlike some of the recent Android flagships, these are just 12 megapixel images, and even then, you can see the amount of details in them. The main camera now gets a wide f1.6 aperture, and that allows the sensor behind it to capture more information. That information goes through the powerful image signal processor on the A14 SoC, and that makes these images look so good. Everything in these images is just so sharp. They hold on to their details even as we zoom in on them. In a separate video, I have compared the images from the iPhone 12 with the ones from the iPhone 11, and I found that these images are slightly more saturated than the ones from the iPhone 11. I think Apple might have made some changes to the image processing algorithm. I also feel that the overall images are a bit warmer, and as I said in the iPhone 12's camera review, I like this look. Overall colors are just amazing. They are so good and vibrant. These colors are slightly more saturated than the actual scene, but I don't mind this look and I have started to like the slight pop in them. To help the cameras take better images in these challenging lighting conditions, Smart HDR graduates to the third level. You can see so many details in the darker parts, and at the same time, sky is not blown away by the bright sun. These could be really challenging situations for any phone, but this iPhone 12 mini does really well to bring up the shadows, and it does not introduce a lot of noise in the shot. Now the Smart HDR3 algorithm recognizes even more scenes, and it can intelligently create segments in the image and manage their exposure separately. All of this means when you click the shutter button, there are a ton of calculations being made in the background to deliver such amazing looking images in just a fraction of a second. Moving to the close-up shots. iPhones have always been faster at setting the focus on any object, and with 100% pixels on the main camera being focus pixels, iPhone 12 mini is no different. The subject closest to the camera or the one that you tap on is in perfect sharp focus, and if you get close enough to the subject, background gets a very nice optical blur. Even without a massive sensor like on recent Android phones, this 12 megapixel camera on the iPhone 12 mini can create good looking optical blur in the background. Coming back to these images for a moment, I said before that this phone captures slightly saturated images, but in case of these three images, the colors turned out exactly how the flash looked, and I really like that. All these images were from the main camera of the iPhone 12 mini, but just like the iPhone 11 and iPhone 12, this one also gets a wide lens. And here is how much more of the scene the wide lens will let you get in the shot compared to the normal lens. This right here is one of the best wide angle camera that you will find on any smartphone, budget or flagship. Images are sharp, colors are excellent, and it gets all the same Smart HDR3 and deep fusion capabilities like the main camera. Many people overlook this point, but just look at how well Apple has matched the white balance and color temperature between these two lenses. Other phones fail to achieve this, and the images just end up looking weird. On the iPhone 12 series phones, there is lens correction on the wide camera, so things towards the edges are not distorted and lines and horizon appear straight and not curved. As good as these wide shots are, The lens and the sensor behind this camera is not as good as the primary one, so these images are a bit softer and not as detailed sometimes. But the deep fusion mode and other computations that are running in the background makes these images look so much sharper than the wide images from other cameras. Coming to the portrait shots. If you're a long-time subscriber of my channel, you know that I love taking portraits with my phones. Basically, whenever I have people in my shot, I just switch to the portrait mode. Thanks to the image signal processor on the A14 chip, edge detection for these portrait shots is near perfect from the iPhone 12 mini. And this time, your subject can be slightly away from the phone and the phone can still take the portrait shot, while from this distance, iPhone 11 just asks me to move a bit closer so it can detect the edges. There is definitely some scope of improvement as the hair are not detected accurately, especially if the subject is standing in front of a very busy background. But I have seen Apple improve the portrait mode performance with every software update right when they first introduced it with the iPhone 7 Plus, so I'm sure edge detection on this phone will just get better over time. Even without a LiDAR sensor like on the iPhone 12 Pros, the 12 mini does really well at indoor portrait shots. So while there is some ambient light around like in these shots, and unless I am in very dark, I am really happy with the iPhone 12 mini's portrait performance. I have never seen an iPhone do so good with edge detection when I took portraits of objects. I mean, previous iPhones could take portraits of objects, but the edge detection was never so accurate. On the other phones had better edge detection when it comes to taking portraits of objects, but on the iPhone that was not the case. That is until the iPhone 12 series phones came along. Now even while taking portraits of objects, edge detection is on point like you can see in these shots. Now let us check out the images that I took in indoors, artificial and lower lighting conditions. This is where the wider f1.6 aperture, optical image stabilization and other computational photography features like the deep fusion mode should help the iPhone 12 mini capture good looking images. In most of the indoor and artificial lighting conditions, deep fusion mode gets activated by itself and it results in good looking images with lot of details and very little noise. As I zoom in on this image, we can see it is holding on to a lot of details with a very little noise. Now this mode was available on the iPhone 11 as well, but thanks to a newer processor, it works much better on the iPhone 12 series phones. Unlike on the iPhone 11, deep fusion mode works in many outdoor situations like in these shots. And just like on the iPhone 12, it is available on the wide lens on the iPhone 12 mini as well. So now you can take sharp, noise-free, wide images in indoor and artificial lighting conditions as well. If you try taking these wide-angle images with the iPhone 11, there would be a lot less light and a lot more noise in these images. So the addition of the deep fusion mode on the wide-angle camera is a very welcome move. As the light gets even lower and deep fusion mode isn't going to help out, the camera app turns on the night mode. Now you can turn it off if you don't want to use it, but leaving it on makes a big difference in these images. If there is some light around, night mode doesn't make the image appear too bright. Instead, it will work on reducing the noise in the darker parts and making the other elements look sharper. It does add some light to the darker parts and reduces the noise like we see in this shot. Now there is some noise in the night mode images as well, but just look at how good these images are compared to the ones without the night mode. Like on all other phones, night mode images take longer to capture and you need to hold the phone steady for 2 to 3 seconds. Any movement during that time will result in a blurry image, so be aware of that. As I said before, night mode is available on the wide lens as well, and it makes a huge difference on this camera. This image from the wide camera barely captures anything without the night mode. Now look at how good it looks with the night mode turned on. If you zoom in, these wide night mode images are still not very detailed, but with a bit of light in them and with less noise, they still look better than the ones without the night mode. That brings us to the front-facing camera. This is the exact same camera that we got on all the iPhone 11 series phones, but the image processing on the new A14 SoC makes these selfies look sharper. Just look at how sharp these outdoor selfies are. Colors, skin tones, everything just looks so good. If you get indoors or in artificial lighting conditions, deep fusion helps even the front-facing camera capture sharper and detailed selfies. Skin tones look good and natural for the most part, but I just feel these selfies are a bit overexposed when shot outdoors in daytime. They look much better if you tap on your face or pull the brightness slider down a bit. Like with both the rear cameras, the selfie camera also gets a night mode now, so even if you are in dark, you can now take good looking selfies. But remember, this again takes longer to capture, and since you are holding your phone with just one hand and away from you, these selfies will be blurred out if there is a lot of movement in the shot. Just for this reason, I still prefer not taking selfies in very dark. You can take portrait selfies, and these also benefit from all the features like Smart HDR, Deep Fusion and Night Mode. Since the background is blurred out, these look even sharper and detailed than the normal selfies. The edge detection, while not perfect, still does a good enough job, and I'm sure it will just get better with software updates. I also found that the iPhone 12 mini is better at keeping multiple faces in focus when you're clicking portrait selfies, while the previous iPhones really struggled with this. Here's a video from the front-facing camera of the iPhone 12 mini. You can see how it handles the overall colors of the scene, exposure, and stabilization when I'm walking around with it. You can shoot 4K 60fps videos with extended dynamic range from all three cameras. Stabilization is as always one of the best that you will find on any smartphone. And this year, all iPhones can shoot 10-bit Dolby Vision HDR videos. On the iPhone 12 and 12 mini, this is limited to 30fps videos. This is a 1080p 240fps slow motion video from the main camera of the iPhone 12 mini. Again, this is some of the best looking slow motion footage that you will see come out of any smartphone. The A14 Bionic is a very powerful processor, so I was hoping to see 4K 120fps or at least 1080p 480fps slow motion videos from the iPhone 12 series phones. But just like last year, slow motion frame rates are limited to 120 and 240fps at 1080p. With that, we have seen over 90 image and video samples from all the cameras on this iPhone 12 mini. I'm just going to repeat the conclusion that I had in my iPhone 12's camera review. While the daytime performance might not be miles better than the iPhone 11, the low light and indoor performance from all the cameras is much better than before. I think the iPhone 12 mini or the iPhone 12 is the phone that most people should go if you are serious about smartphone photography. iPhone 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max do have an extra lens which offers more versatility to your shots, but the price premium they are asking above the regular iPhone 12 mini and the iPhone 12 is definitely not worth it, especially in India. I said this last year as well, that if you know what you're doing, it is difficult to take a bad image with the cameras on the iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 mini. And even without the third lens, I would rate these cameras to be just as impressive as the ones on the iPhone 12 Pro. Performance-wise, cameras on the iPhone 12 mini are definitely an upgrade over the iPhone 11. So if you are confused between the two and your decision comes down to the cameras, go with the iPhone 12 mini. But if you already have the iPhone 11 and you are wondering if you should upgrade, then I would suggest you guys to watch my camera comparison video between the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 11 and then make your decision. If you are using the iPhone XS or any smaller iPhone from before that, and if you are looking to upgrade, iPhone 12 mini will give you a much needed bump in the camera performance. But if you have been using any of the plus sized iPhones, I would suggest you guys to spend the extra 10,000 rupees and get the iPhone 12. So after looking at over 90 image and video samples, what do you guys think about the cameras on this iPhone 12 mini? Let me know in the comments. And if you are planning to get this phone, I would really appreciate if you get it from the affiliate links in the description section. It helps the channel a lot at no extra cost to you. That is it for this video guys. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel for more quality tech videos like this. You can also check out some of the other videos from this channel. This has been Sagar and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.